Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
And welcome to the Comic Queens podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Annie. And today, Alex and I are here to tell you that it's a very special episode because it's April Fool's Day.
Happy April Fools.
I was going to maybe play a prank. And then I was like, no.
I thought about it too. And all I was going to do was tell you that I was reading some horror stories instead. But then I forgot to look up any titles. So
We're really good at this. So professional of us. Today, it's a very special day because I got to read comedies.
Yeah.
Which are my favorite. I think, like, truly, it's tied, romance and comedies. Romantic comedies.
You love a rom-com.
Yeah, taking the lead. But anything that can make me laugh out loud, hilarious imagery, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. So today, Alex and I are going to talk about a few of the different series that we read for today and give you our suggestions. So starting us out, I'm going to talk about one that's a bit newer. It's called Mr. Magical Girl. This series is available on Leeson with 18 episodes. It's listed as a BL comedy, but there are a lot of other tags in there. So one of them being crossdresser, and with the title, you could probably guess why.
Also, one of your favorites.
You know what? Yeah, I've got to type. I've got to type, you guys. So this story follows Jong Gino. He is the captain of the World Peacekeeping Force. Mm-hmm. So their entire goal being to, resolve world crises and situations. And his nickname is the Viper. So people take him pretty seriously,
Yeah.
That's a no-nonsense nickname. But he's kind of in like a rivalry almost with his second in command, whose name is Elia. His nickname is Killing Machine. Also pretty no-nonsense.
Yeah, not that creative, though.
Not that creative. Not as creative as, like, Viper or Kraken.
I feel like we could have gone with, like, I don't know, Black Mamba, Black Widow.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm thinking Deadly Animals.
Yeah, he does have white hair. Maybe something like that.
Ooh, I don't know any, Polar Bear. Are they deadly?
They probably could be. So he'll be Polar Bear in our hearts. But Elia is second in command, but realistically, his skill sets have him right on par with Jong. And so Jong feels like he has something to prove with his skill sets. But he gets called in and finds out that he has been hand-selected to run a new mission. And they go, you can step back now if you don't feel comfortable taking this on. It's probably going to be the most intense mission you've ever been on. Mm-hmm. And he can't back down because he feels like he and Elia are neck and neck. This is really going to set them apart. So Jong takes it on, only to find out that the person who is leading him in this new mission is an alien that has come to Earth to warn them that there are creatures that are going to be descending upon Earth, trying to procreate and take the entire planet over.
Okay.
And this alien, Andromeda, the only reason they want to help is because as soon as Earth gets conquered, their planet is next. So Andromeda is doing this, obviously, with their own goals in mind.
Yeah.
Because they don't want their own planet to get infested. So they're like, we'll just keep Earth from getting infested. And then, my planet of Centaurus is going to be safe. Mm-hmm. So Andromeda bestows powers onto Jong Gino so that he's able to defend these unearthly creatures that are going to be coming to Earth. The creatures are just giant tentacle monsters with multiple rows of sharp teeth. Think like shark teeth, but like giant octopus. And they're kind of horrifying.
Yeah.
So Jong is like, yeah, this is supernatural. I'm going to need these superhero powers that I have been given. And when he goes to use them, he finds out that he is now a superhero, but he's gone full magical girl transformation. Mm-hmm. We're talking he's got the bow in the hair, a pretty frilly dress. The magical girl experience.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon levels of magical girl. Tights and heels, the works.
It sounds like fun.
And you may be surprised to know that Jong was not expecting this.
Not into it.
Not quite what he expected when he heard superhero powers.
Yeah.
And maybe that's his fault.
Did he read the fine print?
I don't think there was any. It was pretty sprung on him, to be honest. So Jong is obviously already pissed off about this, but he does find out that he's pretty strong, so he's able to fend off against the monsters pretty easily.
Yeah.
He does realize, however, that once he's not in that magical girl transformation, he's a regular person, and everything that he went through, like getting knocked around by these monsters, it affects him as if he was a normal person. So he's in excruciating pain afterwards when he's no longer a magical girl.
Oh, no.
And they say that you can borrow energy from the people around you through physical contact. And they were like, oh, to make this process easier for you, Andromeda tells Jong, all of the people think that you smell amazing, so they'll want to have physical contact with you.
Of course they will.
And Jong does not like this. Fortunately for him, Alaya is very protective of Jong. So all of the subordinates who are trying to cling to Jong, and they're like, I'll help you to recover, they all get beaten up.
Yeah.
Alaya, not having it. He's like, no, if there's anyone who is qualified enough to help Jong, it's me. So only I will be helping him, thank you. And Jong is torn between he doesn't want to feel passed around with other people, but also not really wanting to be involved with his rival either.
Yeah.
But since Alaya has beaten all of them up, which he's not also much of a fan of, he doesn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah.
And so now the entire story is just Jong trying to navigate being a magical girl and also trying to navigate what his relationship with Alaya is. I loved this one. I know that it sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of crazy.
I mean, it sounds fun. It sounds like something you would like. You love the cross-dressing, gender-bending stories.
Yeah.
You love a comedy. You love a romance.
And I really just love that Jong starts to lean into it.
Yeah.
He's like, I am a superhero.
I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, he's making the best of it. I think this one is fantastic. I don't want to give too many spoilers. I know that it's pretty early on.
Yeah.
So it's like 18 episodes. But it is worth it. And it is definitely a laugh out loud story.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
So the first one that I have to talk about today is not a superhero, but a pop star.
Ooh.
This one is called Death of a Pop Star. It's a Webtoon series, and there are 105 episodes on Webtoon. I bought the first volume at one of our local bookstores, and just thought it sounded so cute because it's about a pop star who dies, and then the Grim Reaper is her number one fan.
Amazing.
So that's the gist. That's what I bought into.
Yeah.
Now, this one, in the first volume that I have, is only the first 24 episodes. Volume 2 is out, and it just released on March 3rd, so I don't have it yet, but I will be getting it because I loved this first volume.
That's the curse of trying to find things in the wild.
Yeah.
It just hasn't, fate hasn't wanted us to buy it
Fate
yet.
hasn't found me yet, but I am sure that it will because I loved this one. It is so funny. It's so cute. It's great. You're going to love the main character.
Oh, it's okay. You already had me at Grim Reaper.
Okay, well, you're going to love our main character. Her name is Sophie Lim. She is a brand new pop star. She has just debuted with her first song, which is called Kiss of Death. So we're really just hitting it on the nose right there. And we open up, she's doing a commercial. It doesn't say she's doing a commercial, though. It, like, opens and you're watching the commercial.
Oh, no. That kind of reminds me. Have you ever seen Tropic Thunder and how it opens with
Yes.
the fake advertisements?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like that. So she's waiting. There are people being like, man, she's been here for a long time. I hope the person that she's waiting on is worth it. And then a man comes up to her with this jolly drink and is like, oh, I'm so sorry that I'm an hour late, but here's a drink. And she's, of course, like, oh, it's okay. How could anyone be upset with jolly juice?
Jolly juice.
So it is so funny to start off with. They call cut and she gets off. The guy tries to ask her out. Her aunt, who is also her manager, is like, get away. Absolutely not.
Never.
So she leaves and she is starting to walk around. She's trying to talk to her best friend Hannah, and she falls down the stairs.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So she falls down the stairs and then she wakes up and she's like, oh no, like that hurt. That was painful. But she notices that she's looking at herself on the ground. So she's like, oh, this is not good.
That's not normal.
So she's trying to shake herself awake. She's like, wake up. And it's not working.
Yeah.
So the Grim Reaper, his name is Elijah, also goes by Eli. He comes and he's like, all right, you're dead. You have to come with me. So she goes through a couple of stages of grief here. She first starts to beg for her life, and then she throws a tantrum, and then she tries to create a diversion and run away so that the Grim Reaper can't take her.
I don't think that's going to work.
He's like, I've seen it all before. This is not working. And then she mentions that she really, really wants to stay because her first single just came out. It's her big debut, and she just feels like she hasn't gotten a chance to like live to her full potential, and that her aunt, who is her guardian and also her manager, has put her entire life into supporting Sophie's dreams, and how she just feels like she really let her aunt down.
Yeah.
And the Grim Reaper's hearing all of this and he's like, wait, you're Sophie Lim? I love you. I love your song. I'm one of your biggest fans.
Aw.
And so she's like, oh, that's so great. If I give you an autograph, will you let me live? And he's like, no.
That's not how that works.
So she's like, I'll give you anything. And he's like, oh, really? Will you marry me? And she says yes. So he's like, wait, I don't think you know what that means. Like, that means once you die again, you're going to have to come and stay with me in limbo and be the Grim Reaper's bride. And she's like, I don't care. I'll do it. So she wakes up, and when she wakes up, her aunt is having a press conference where the aunt is saying, like, she, has been fighting and nothing that the doctors are doing is working, and it's just time for us to let go and move on. And as she's having this press conference, Sophie Lim burst open the doors and was like, I'm here, I'm alive. So they're like, oh, great, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
So the aunt is like, okay, we need to take a step back. I know that, like, we've been focusing on you being an idol for so long, but I think that you should take a step back because you just were in a coma for a week. And it's time to go to college. And she's like, I don't want to go to college. I want to be an idol. But because her aunt is asking her to go to college and her aunt has done everything for her, like supported her through all of this.
Yeah.
She's been going to dancing and singing lessons since she was a kid. Her best friend Hannah is also about to be a debut idol for a rival company, and they've been best friends since they were little kids too. It shows them in their little dance class together as little babies, and it was adorable.
Aww.
And so she is reluctantly agrees to go to school.
Yeah.
Now she gets there, and you might think, okay, she's a celebrity, everyone's gonna want to be her friend, like it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
That's not what happens. She has never been to a public school before. And she's kind of awkward. People do come up to her to ask for an autograph, but then they don't want to sit with her. She's like, oh, yeah, here's my autograph. Also, do you want to sit with me? And they're, like, already leaving. And they're like, we could sell this for so much online.
Aww.
She's like, okay. She's late to all of her classes. She accidentally runs into this, like, there's a trio of mean girls. Of course. And she accidentally runs into one of them, spills coffee all over her, and then when she's trying to escape this interaction, ends up like elbowing her in the nose and causing her to knock out. So she runs away. She's having a horrible day.
Aww.
And she does talk to her friend Hannah, and Hannah's like, all right, like, you can do this. Just try to lay low. So she wears a disguise the next day, and she is laying low. Mm-hmm. Now, at the same time, on the other end of the spectrum, we have Eli. Haven't forgotten about him.
I certainly haven't.
He is working with another guy named Julian, who is the prince of the underworld. Julian is set to take over from his father, Christopher, who you would love.
I'm sure I would.
The king of the underworld.
King of hell. Sounds like my guy.
Got a few scars, some great facial hair.
Sold.
Yeah.
You know me so well.
So, Christopher, the king of the underworld, has sent his son Julian to go and learn from Eli on Earth. Julian, really lazy, doesn't want to do it, just wants to sit and play video games. So Eli's like, go to college. You need to get some interaction with people.
Oh my
So he
gosh.
goes to the same college. Sophie sees him there and he's like not trying to talk to anyone at all, but people are coming up to him because he has what looks like a Switch game console. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, are you playing this game? Like, can we watch? And so they sit down and Sophie's over there thinking like, man, some people just make friends so easily and everything comes to them so naturally. Why can't that be me? And so she's all upset. Julian's like, I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
And Eli, it is the end of the month and it is his time to go and show his report of the souls that he has reaped to the king of the underworld, Christopher. Mm-hmm. So he goes and he shows his report and you can see number of deaths and then number of souls. And on the number of souls, you can see that he like put a little square of paper over the top so that the numbers matched and it falls off and Christopher is like, what is this? And it's so funny because he's like, oh, that appears to be a report with numbers on it. He's like, yeah, why don't they match? And so
I love Christopher.
Oh my gosh.
He's a numbers guy.
He's not happy that the numbers don't match.
Yeah.
And so Eli ends up telling Christopher what happened, that he let someone go. And Christopher's like, you will be punished for this.
Yeah.
So he tells Julian, you have to kill her now. Your job is to kill her. She can't die by any other means.
No.
You have to kill her. And also, Eli, you're in trouble. Your punishment is that you have to stay here with me. And so you could see in, like, the next panel, Julian is trying to figure out what to do about this girl. He's seeing her in class. And Eli is giving Christopher a foot massage in hell. And he's like, ugh, I've been reduced from the Grim Reaper to a personal assistant. This is awful.
Oh my gosh.
But then when he hears what Julian's new assignment is, he's like, I cannot let this happen. I love Sophie.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let her die like this. And if you'll remember, once she dies, she has to go be the Grim Reaper's wife and live in limbo. And he doesn't want that for her, really. He wants her to have, like, a happy life. And so he disobeys Christopher and goes back up to Earth. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go to this school now. Because he realizes that they're in the same class. Mm-hmm. And so he tries to get in. He's got gray hair. And so they're like, what are you, like, 50? Why are you trying to go back to school?
I'm sorry, have you never heard about a white-haired male lead?
He also says that his name is Eli Reaper because he couldn't think of a last name.
Aww.
So then someone's like, oh, when is that new janitor supposed to get here? And he's like, that's me, I'm the janitor. And they're like, didn't you just say you were supposed to be a new student? And he tries to confuse them and he is saying like, no, I forgot. I'm the janitor. That's what happens when you're old. You forget. So he becomes the janitor and he starts following Sophie around and everyone's like, that janitor's creepy and he's following you around.
Does she know?
She knows that she confronts him at one point and is like, why are you following me around? Like, I know that you were in the cafeteria and I know that you were in the hallway. And in the like flashbacks, mm-hmm. he is cleaning in all of those situations. So it's like just enough believable that he's like, oh, I'm the janitor, I'm cleaning. And she's like, no, you're not.
Something feels weird.
But things start to happen. So Julian saves Sophie from getting hit by a car or like a big truck. And Lena, who's the girl who Sophie spilled coffee on, ends up being in one of her classes. They confront each other in the bathroom where Lena's like, you're kind of annoying. And Sophie's like, I'm so sorry, I spilled coffee on you. And then a light fixture is starting to fall on her. And so Lena pushes her out of the way. Then Julian comes in and he carries her to the nurse's office because she passed out. Mm-hmm. And so just crazy things keep happening. The four of them become like a little group that hang out for a little while. So Lena, Julian, and Sophie are on a group project together. And they invite the janitor to hang out with them to get coffee.
Casual.
And so it's really funny watching their group project too, because they have to create a banner, and so they're all creating like very different styles and they just can't get it to mesh.
Yeah.
And so Julian has also decided that he's not going to kill Sophie now because he's having a good time hanging out on Earth, and if he kills Sophie, then he's going to have to go back to hell. And he's like, I don't want to have to work. Yeah. I'm not going to do it. And Julian's like, I don't trust you. I'm staying here.
Yeah.
And so where we leave off, Sophie is trying to still do her dance and singing classes and practices.
Yeah.
To stay on top of her idol career. But her aunt is like, we can't afford that now. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to school. I'm paying tuition. I'm your manager, so I don't really have a job now either. You're not bringing in money as an idol.
Yeah.
So we can't afford your singing classes. Mm-hmm. And it ends, or dancing lessons. And it ends with her talking to her old dancing instructor that she runs into at a coffee shop. Yeah. Post all of this stuff with this, like, ragtag group of people. And she's like, oh, yeah, I really wish that I could come to the dance studio, but I just can't because, you know, we can't afford it. And the instructor's like, your aunt, when you signed the contract, you paid for 3 years of dance lessons ahead of time. And so it ends with Sophie being like, wait, why would my aunt lie to me? So Julian is also suspicious. He's like, something's weird. Why does this girl attract so many bad luck things? Like, she sets a fire with candles. She had the run-in with the truck. She had the run-in with the light. She almost fell off a ladder. There are just so many things that have happened. And Julian's like, something's fishy here. I think someone's trying to kill her. Like,
I think she needs to be the girl in the bubble.
Mm-hmm. And he's also like, it's kind of weird that when she originally was supposed to die, she fell down the stairs. Isn't that kind of weird? And Eli's like, I think she's just clumsy and unlucky. So, kind of a little bit to find out. I think that the aunt is evil. There's like a mysterious phone call, too, that happens where the aunt's talking to someone. You don't really hear it. It's like the end of a conversation.
It's also very weird that the aunt was only willing to wait a week before being like, cut our losses.
Yeah. I thought that was suspicious at the beginning, but then I was like, no, okay, I'm probably just being, I mean, it's a comedy.
I would hope that people would wait a little bit longer than a week for me.
I'd wait forever.
Oh.
So this one is hysterical. All of the characters are just so funny and so endearing.
I love it.
I love the little ragtag group that they've got going on. Eli and Julian are hilarious. Christopher as the king of the underworld, he hasn't been like super involved yet, but I feel like he's going to be, and he's going to be like funny and sassy.
Yeah.
Like his punishment was that Eli had to give him a foot massage. Like water included, you know, like pedicure, foot massage.
Oh, yeah.
All the works. So I love it. It's
honestly great. I need to see all of these characters.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just going to have to start reading it.
Yeah, it's good. It is one that you can read completely. It's a complete series, 105 episodes, and you can read it on Webtoon without any coins or anything.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you do want to read this one and you can't find it in stores or anything, you could read it online. Or you could read it online and love it so much that you want to purchase it because it's amazing.
Yeah. It sounds pretty great to me. I'm sold.
Before we get into your next story, we have to try some pickle candy.
Oh my gosh. I feel like we have so many weird gimmicks on this podcast.
Here's the thing. We did the pickle roulette.
We did.
And then when I saw this, I was like, I just need to know.
They look like little gherkin pickles.
It looks like an actual pickle. The texture is weird. Kind of smells like watermelon.
It smells very much like artificial watermelon.
Yeah. And so we gotta know.
I'm so confused. Okay, do we cheers? I don't know.
Cheers.
Tastes like watermelon. Why am I a little sad that it's not pickle?
Oh, there's like juice in it. I told you there was juice in it.
Yeah, but I didn't get any on my first bite. It scared me. It tastes like a watermelon.
Yeah, it's a very minimal pickle. It's got like a very artificial flavor to it, and I know it is artificial, but you know what I mean? Like, you can taste the fakeness.
All in all, it's a weird candy.
I don't think I'd buy it again. I kind of feel like I'm eating styrofoam.
The texture is weird. Mm-hmm. The texture is kind of almost like marshmallowy, but it's got juice in it.
It's gummy. It's marshmallowy. It's got like a Gushers kind of center.
It looks like a pickle, and it tastes like artificial watermelon. And that's just a lot going on for me.
The marshmallowy part, I think, has that kind of like really artificial flavor, whereas like the Gusher part in the middle, I kind of liked more. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
I think that's generous. It's not my favorite.
I can't give it a 0 because I feel like if it were like a 0, I wouldn't
It'd be
finish
bad.
it. You know?
You know what? That's fair. I did finish it. But maybe I'm just a fucking trash can. Well, thank you for that experience.
You know what I should have done? If I were thinking, I would have been like, here, have a pickle. Like, taken it out and put it with real pickles.
To be fair, would have smelled that shit from a mile away. Yeah. It smells like straight artificial watermelon. Would have been like, Alex, there's something fucked up about your pickles.
And I don't think I've ever offered you a pickle in our entire 13 years of friendship. Unless there's one on my plate at a restaurant. I'm like, here, have my pickle.
That has happened.
Yeah. So, if I were really thinking, I would have taken it out, put it on a plate at a restaurant, and been like, give this to me so I can give it to my friend.
These are great ideas. I think, again, it comes down to the fact that we're not pranking each other today.
No, we're not. But if anyone needs a prank idea,
prank your friends with pickles.
There are pickle candies out there that look very convincing as long as you don't touch them or smell them.
Yeah, if you just have some random stranger go, here's a pickle, it'd be way less conspicuous.
That would be wrong on so many levels.
Well, I appreciate the detour and the almost prank, I guess. So to lead us in, I have something else that's a bit obscure. The story I read today is Curse Princess Club. This one is one that I wanted to read anyways this year because it's on my New Year's resolutions list. So I decided that I would jump into it pretty early.
Yeah.
And this story is completed on Webtoon with 183 episodes. You do have to unlock some of the episodes with ads or whatever, and it's not unlimited. So even if you had the patience of a saint and you wanted to unlock everything with ads, you would eventually have to wait like a day or something to unlock 15 more.
I've seen that where it's like you can only do a certain number a day and then it resets.
But I don't have that patience. So thank goodness for me, I own all of the print volumes so far. So with the print volumes, there are 5 that have been released, and they've released in print up to episode 110. So it's a solid chunk that's already in print, plus volume 6 comes out at the end of this year in November. So I've got a good chunk of the story so far.
Yeah.
This one is hilarious, and I adore every single character. So this story follows Gwen. She is one of 3 princesses of the Pastel Kingdom, and their father had been gone on a trip, And when he comes home, he gives a special greeting to wake up all of his children. So first he goes into one room and he says, "Good morning." And it's his daughter, Maria. And she's stereotypical princess with the animals doing her hair and just light shining into her room. And the dad's like, "Good morning, Maria." And she goes, "Good morning, Dad. I don't even know how the animals got in here. I live in a tower," you know? And so he goes and he knocks on the next door and he goes, "Good morning, my lovely daughter, Lorena." And she has flowers everywhere in her room. Mm-hmm. And just her existence alone inspires flowers to follow her. So Lorena says good morning. He goes into the next room and he goes, "Good morning." "Oh, no, it's just my son." And his son is stark naked. But is also known as the most beautiful of all of the children in the kingdom. The son, Jamie, literally looks like a girl. Mm-hmm. Like big anime eyes, pink hair, the works.
Yeah.
And Jamie is just like, "Oh, hello. How are you, Dad?" And he's like, "We'll play chess together later or something."
Oh my gosh.
So he goes to the last room and he knocks and he says good morning to Gwen, our main character. And the best way I can describe her is she has greenish tinged skin, long, weedy looking green hair, and there's a possum stuck in it. And so she says good morning and asks for help getting the possum out of her hair.
As you would.
As you would if you had a possum stuck in your hair, I would assume. Mm-hmm. But the dad very obviously has a favorite, and his favorite daughter is Gwen. Mm-hmm. That's his baby girl. So the king sits down all of his daughters. And he says, "I know that I've never let you leave the house because I'm a little protective, but we need to make an alliance with the Plaid Kingdom. And they have 3 sons, and I have 3 daughters, and I don't want you marrying anybody else. But I've been told that it is frowned upon for me to not let you marry people."
Oh my gosh. What about the son?
"So I'll just let you 3 girls marry." I don't think he really cares about the son.
I feel bad for the son.
Don't. He's beautiful. Everyone adores him. Except for the king. So this Plaid Kingdom happens to have 3 sons for the 3 daughters here. They're all like the same age. And it just so happens that the king is also friends with the king of the Plaid Kingdom. Mm-hmm. So there's an established trust.
Yeah.
He goes, "This will be an alliance. We're good to go." And so they end up doing a huge introduction. Now, to prep for this, the girls all have very different ideas about how to debut themselves. And again, they have no social skills. So they're really not working with a lot.
Yeah.
You have Maria and Lorena kind of working through all of these mock scenarios of how they can woo the princes, look like damsels, whatever else. Gwen decides to go a different route. Mm-hmm. She's a really good baker, so she wants to bake pies. And this works out great. And she takes the pies to Jamie and asks Jamie to taste test the pies. Mm-hmm. And a wicked witch comes up to Jamie and is like, "You should try this apple." And Gwen is like, "That is very obviously a poisoned apple." But Jamie, not the smartest of the bunch, takes a bite of the apple.
Aw.
So immediately Jamie passes out. All of the Plaid Kingdom boys come to visit. And obviously the eldest sons, very excited when they see how beautiful Maria and Lorena are. And the king is like, "How embarrassing. Gwen must be busy. She's going to be here any minute." And Gwen rushes in carrying Jamie in just a princess holds. And she's like, "You guys, we have to have a wake for Jamie." And the sons are terrified. They're like, "Oh my gosh, someone died? Like, what's going on?" And the king goes, No. A wake is like a ceremony to like wake the princess. But it's a prince. Oh my
gosh, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, the youngest prince of the Plaid Kingdom thought Jamie was the princess when he saw the picture. And he goes, "Oh, that's a man? I thought that Gwen was a ghost that was haunting the picture that I saw. I didn't think that she was a princess."
Oh my gosh.
And the youngest prince, not very happy with who he's getting paired with. Mm-hmm. So the oldest sons, they're gung-ho. They see the daughters. They're like, "Man, this is great." Unfortunately for Gwen, she realizes very quickly that Frederick does not like her.
Aw.
And she does overhear him at the wake being held for Jamie, saying that he's absolutely disgusted looking at her and can't stand her.
Is the wake successful for Jamie?
Yes, it is. Good. They do have multiple people lining up to try to kiss Jamie awake.
Yeah.
True love's kiss.
Yeah.
And all it took was someone presenting him with the dessert that he loves the most.
I mean, really?
You and me both. Gwen does hear Frederick saying these awful things about her. And she keeps it to herself because she doesn't want to be the person to put a damper on things.
Yeah.
The dad obviously has a plan he's concocted. She wants to support her king dad. She wants to support her sisters. And she goes, we can find a way for Frederick to be happy. And it doesn't have to be with me. So that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But she's still sad about it. She runs into the forest. She's crying. She's kind of taking her moment. And who does she run into but a group of terrifying people? So terrifying that she passes out. Who are these people, you may ask? But the Cursed Princess Club.
Oh my gosh.
They're a group of princesses. They all have a different curse on them. And so one by one, she's getting to know all of them. You have like the president of the Princess Club. Then you have Monica. She like turns into a crow whenever she's anxious. You have the Abby, who is 15, but she looks like a grandma. There's also a man in the group who said that his curse is that he can't grow a beard, and in his kingdom, that's a failure on his part. But the reality of it is that he has a cursed hand that he can't control. There's also a princess who was actually a lobster princess and got cursed to turn into a human princess.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very devastated by this. She wishes she was a lobster.
That's so funny.
They're all hilarious.
Yeah.
And so they all see Gwen and they go, well, what's your curse? Was it like a witch that put a curse on you?
She's not cursed.
Why do you look like this? And she's not cursed. She just looks like that. So she's also like, great. People look at me and think that I'm cursed because I'm ugly.
Why is she kind of green? I just looked her up. I had to know.
Mm-hmm.
And she is kind of green, and she does look very sickly, like she's about to die.
Yeah, she does.
I can understand why the prince thought she was a ghost. I think I might too.
Yeah. I mean, he's not far off.
Yeah.
But it doesn't explain it.
No.
Yeah, and like to the dad and to the people who are really close to her and love her, they're like, Gwen is the most beautiful because what makes you beautiful is what's on the inside.
Are her sisters nice? Do her sisters love her?
Yes.
And the brother,
her whole family loves her.
Yeah.
They all adore her, worship the ground that she walks on.
Yeah.
Which is why now that she's meeting people outside of her family,
she's very confused.
Yeah, very confused. She just thought that this was normal, and she's starting to get the feeling that maybe it's not. So she goes back home, but the Cursed Princess Club is like, hey, you've got a place here. If you want to come back, you just come on back. And so she realizes that she could find some friends in this group and almost decides to go back as an emotional support group.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not cursed, but it'd be cool to understand why I'm like this and why that's weird. And like know that I'm amongst people who don't think that I'm weird. And so she tries to make amends. She tells Frederick, like, oh, we don't have to end up together. And Frederick takes it really wrong. He like sees it very differently. She thinks she really sold it, you know? And he's like, oh my gosh, she's evil. She's saying we don't have to end up together. She's going to kill me. And it's not working out very well.
Yeah.
But at the end, you realize that she has decided, she's like, I'm going to join this group in the hopes that I can feel better about myself. So it seems like a story about self-growth. It's very funny. More like slapstick humor. Like, it's so outrageous that it's funny. But I love it. All of the Cursed Princesses are so fun. And there's so many of them that it definitely just kind of keeps you guessing the entire time.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad you like it. I'm curious about it as well. Like, your description definitely makes me want to read it, where I wasn't like super interested in it before, but it sounds so funny.
You would love it.
Yeah.
It's laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
Like, truly and honestly, there is one part where they kind of do the secret invitation in the woods to join, like, the secret society.
Yeah.
It's very Fight Club-esque. And they're like, to join the Cursed Princess Club, you have to remember the secret word panda. And it stands for Prince Charming isn't necessary. Assist others. Never tell anyone about the Cursed Princess Club. Don't go near the barn. And again, don't go near the barn.
What's in the barn?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know yet. So I've only read volume 1, but it's so, so good. And obviously I'm going to keep buying this one because it's hilarious and I want to support, but also because I'd have to buy it either way, so I'd rather own it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I highly recommend.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad you loved it. The last one I have for you today is one that you also love.
Is it pickle candy? Is there more surprise pickle candy?
No more surprise pickle candy. This is called Killer Crush.
I love it!
Which I have read partially before and talked about on here before. But I finally got around to finishing it. And I'm so glad that I did because it is hilarious. It's so good. So I've talked about season 1 before. Where we ended off in season 1. Our two main characters, Daehyuk and Taemin, have kissed and kind of, confessed their feelings to each other. So we're starting off season 2 with things kind of going back to normal a little bit, where Taemin has gone back to work. He's off battling some random thugs. And he's on the phone with Daehyuk trying to just, plan a date. And he's like, is it a date? I don't know. So he's having this, cutesy little moment while he's also trying to kill people.
Yeah.
It's very fun. Good contradiction. And Daehyuk does say, hey, I want to go on a date with you. And he's like, oh, good. Good to know that it's actually a date that we're going to be going on. This is great. So Taemin, still over the moon. Just absolutely in love with Daehyuk already. Jaemin, who is Daehyuk's manager, is not on board with this at all.
For good reason.
I mean, I guess.
It does, endanger the people you love to be an assassin.
But he was not on board before he knew he was an assassin.
Yeah.
So he was just not on board at all.
Yeah.
So, of course, once he actually found out who Taemin was, he's like, no, absolutely not. So he starts crashing their dates. He comes in on one of their dates when they're about to get intimate. And it's the first time that they've come this far, where Taemin has come back to Daehyuk's house, and he comes in with kimchi, and he's like, oh, my mom, made fresh kimchi. And then he finds out that Daehyuk's dating, and so then he starts hanging out more. He hangs out to get coffee, crashes their dinner date. He locks himself in Daehyuk's bathroom so that Daehyuk has to come home to get him out. Which Taemin also started renting an apartment so that they could go to his house instead and get some privacy, and that backfired.
Yeah.
They end up trying to go on a day trip to Busan, and Jaemin finds out about that and joins them. And this is where things kind of come to a head, because Daehyuk knows what Jaemin's doing, and he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, back off.
Yeah, and Taemin also knows what Jaemin is doing, and he's like, he goes off on his own. He's getting medicine because Jaemin has faked being sick. And Daehyuk is like, you need to stop right now. And so then Jamin kind of has this, like, moment of being like, well, what are you doing? Like, you're using him because the only reason that you even started talking to him is because you wanted to learn how to be a better actor.
Yeah.
And he says this knowing that Taemin is hearing this. And so then they have, like, a little one-to-one where Taemin is like, I don't care if that's why he first started talking to me. I'll take him in any way that I can get him. I'll never hurt him, and I'll never do anything to cause him harm or to do harm to his image. And I don't really care what you think. So, yeah.
And can we just snaps for Taemin?
Oh my gosh.
I feel
I
like
love him.
I love when characters have this energy.
Yeah.
Because that's us.
Yeah. Also, though, Taemin better than me because I think I would have not handled Jamin so well, and I would have been, like, very petty about it.
You would have been just as petty as Jamin back to him.
I would have definitely been horrible. And I was like, Taemin, get back at him. He's pissing me off.
But Taemin's a good person.
I know.
And us? Debatable.
So this kind of comes to a head, though. They're like, all right, fine. Jamin is like, you're going to do what you're going to do. I can't stop you. So then they take their relationship to the next level. They start watching movies all the time because Daehyuk is, like, in love with all of these noir movies. And so he's like, we have to watch this. We have to watch that. Showing all of these different ones. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite playoffs of an actual movie was Pam's Maze instead of Pan's Labyrinth, which is just so hilarious.
So good. It's so funny to me because you've picked up on so many of these references. And I feel like I was just reading everything face value. I'm sure, like, in the moment I saw that one and chuckled.
Yeah.
But, like, you are so invested in the movies that they're talking about.
I love it. The wittiness of it all is just perfect. Like, there's a part at the very end where one of the bad guys, he's one of the top gangsters, his name is Seung-min, and he's the one with the pink hair, and he gets his ear, like, cut off in battle, and so he does the bandage around his head, and they do a picture from the side, and it's like the Van Gogh self-portrait with his ear cut off. And I mean, it's just they throw all of these things in, so it's really, I feel like that's where a lot of the humor comes in and is just very witty.
Yeah.
And I just appreciated that so much.
Very pop culture forward,
Yes, very, like, plays on pop culture, which I just really appreciated here. So now that we've moved on, they're having all of their cute little movie dates, and Taemin they decide that they have to go to the next level with these gangs, and they have to do a next level warning. Yeah. So first warning that they did in season 1 is they kill off low level people. Mm-hmm. Second warning is they're going to start killing off high level people. Yeah. So Taemin is going to make sure that this is, like, what the right next step is. So he's going to the right hand man of one of the, like, bosses whose name is Mr. Gyu. And they're at this charity event because Mr. Gyu is, like, an actual public figure director, and he's not on face value a thug like the other people. And so so Taemin is going to meet up with this right-hand man because they know that he is gay and that he also has a type, and that type is Taemin. Yeah. So he goes, and then while he's there, he sees that Daehyuk is there. And he had been ignoring his text messages earlier in the day because he was like, I can't get distracted. If he would have paid attention, he would have seen that Daehyuk was going to be at this event with his friend. He was like, hey, my friend is singing at this event and her manager can't come, so I'm going to go with her to be her support. She doesn't really like to do these things alone. Yeah. I'm the best guy in the world, so I'm going to do it. And Taemin's there to try and get dirt on people. So he's like, he cannot know I'm here. Yes. This is awful. So he's, like, trying to be picked up by this guy, but also trying to avoid Daehyuk and also trying to not feel like he's doing bad things and, like, cheating on Daehyuk. And so what he ends up doing is taking this guy's phone, listening for the evidence on his phone, and then getting enough evidence that he's like, all right, I gotta leave. And So he ends up leaving, and they decide that they will be delivering this warning, and they pick a date, and they are like working towards that date. So they're starting to watch these thugs in the meantime, trying to like figure out their schedules so that they can best plan out how they're going to accomplish this murder. And so after this too, the boss, who is Taemin and Seolho's boss, he knows that Taemin is in a relationship now, and he's like, all right, it's fine. Like, at this point, I think it would be worse for you to be out of this relationship, but you're gonna have to work twice as hard now because he can't find out who you really are.
Yeah.
And so you're gonna have to like do double time to make sure that everything is on the up and up.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I can do that. So there's some animosity going on too with Seolho and Taemin, because Seolho wants to be one of the people who is doing the murdering instead of one of the people who is gathering the information. And he feels like the boss doesn't trust him and doesn't feel like he can do anything, and kind of thinks of him as like a little kid, even though he's 34. Which, I mean, I don't know.
So young and sprightly.
I'm still probably like a kid, so he kind of is.
Yeah, he would have to be.
So this kind of becomes a problem, though, because Taemin does eventually go after Mr. Gyu. And when he does, at the same time, Seolho, who was supposed to just be watching the other gangster, Seungmin, he was just supposed to be watching him, and he tries to kill him because it, like, through all of the things that they have found out, they're like, okay, we have to target him as well because he knows too much. He's seen Taemin, and he just needs to go because he is also part of the problem. And so they're, like, going to have someone else do it, and Seolho is like, no, I'm going to do it. And he doesn't succeed. And he causes the whole mission to fail.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not great.
Not great. So Taemin ends up being surrounded and attacked by all of these people who work for Mr. Gyu. And he escapes back to this apartment that he has, which, good thing he decided that he needed to really play the long con on Daehyuk, because otherwise he wouldn't have this apartment to go to. He's like, I can't go to anywhere that's associated with the organization because then they'll know who we are and where we're from.
Yeah.
And so he ends up going back to this apartment, and that is the end of season 2. In season 3, we have, throughout this whole time as well, Seungmin is trying to gather information on this organization that's attacking them.
Yeah.
And so he knows from police reports that all of these gangsters have been dying throughout the years. No one has really looked into their murders because they're not good people. So they're kind of like, well, you know, it's fine. And so he's like, well, I'm going to find out who's doing this.
Yeah.
And he already knows that something's going on, but he's trying to figure out who it is. So he's trying to go to all these pathologists and who used to work for the police department and, like, try and get information on these old cases so he can figure out this organization. So he's doing that. And then they have this, like, big showdown at a warehouse where everything kind of comes to a head. So Daehyuk has left to go to an audition, and he escapes from the audition because he comes back and he sees that Taemin is not there, and Seolho has left a message saying, you need to go live your life and go to this audition. So Seolho basically kidnapped him, took him to the audition and said go. And so then he leaves the audition to try and go find Taemin. Taemin has decided that he's going to leave because he has to at this point. The organization is like, for your protection, since this mission failed, you will be leaving and staying kind of undercover for the time being. And so he's like, all right, cool, I'll do that. But before I do that, I need to kill everyone who was going to be a problem for Daehyuk. And so then they end up at this warehouse. There's like all of these battles going on, a lot of back and forth, and like, you know, guns to different heads and all of this and that. And they have their like big moment of love confession where Daehyuk is like, I don't care that you are an assassin. Like, I love you anyways. And you don't have to do this anymore if you don't want to. And then they end up not killing the two main gangsters. And they leave them there, though, to be arrested by the police and run away. They end up going away. You find out they, like, reintroduce themselves as their old names. So Taemin has been in this organization. He was born into it. His mom was a part of it. He's been trained for this since as long as he can remember.
Yeah.
So he reintroduces himself, and Daehyuk introduces himself as his name before he was famous. They get to go and, like, create a new life and live happily together. Daehyuk does end up getting a role that he wants. It's, like, a comedy role, but not from the famous director that he wants, but not the role that he was auditioning for originally because he ran away.
Yeah.
And Seolho and the boss end up leaving together because their identities and situation has been compromised as well. And the boss, like, confesses the reason that I never sent you on any missions before is because I don't want you to get hurt. Like, I'm the reason you were brought into this world, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And so they're going to go live their own lives. The bosses, the gangsters, they ended up getting off without being really punished because there wasn't much information on them that they could go off of.
Yeah.
But they do end up having to work, it seems, on like a fishing boat in the ocean, and they're not happy about it.
No.
And that's really it. I loved this one. It is so funny. Like I said, it's just like all the wit that I really enjoyed. It's perfect timing because there are new side story episodes being released in Korean right now. We have a new cover on the US Leeson page, but there are no new episodes out yet. But I'm very excited to read more of this. I want side stories about the two main characters.
Yeah.
Because they're perfect. They have the greatest relationship ever, and I love them. I want side stories about Seolho and the boss. I think that they're just going to be hilarious together. And honestly, I want side stories about the two gangsters.
I do too. Listen, Sungmin, that he's the pink-haired one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sungmin is so funny to me.
Yeah.
He has like a love for collecting stickers and like everything's super cutesy.
Yeah. The other one does too, Mr. Gyu. Like their whole meetings are to trade different stickers.
Yeah.
And his like love confession at the end is, I'm going to give you my prized limited edition sticker to put over your Band-Aid on your ear.
And I mean,
so funny.
You can't tell me that's not true love.
You can't.
I adore this story. There's so many different levels to it.
Yeah.
But the comedy aspects here are just so great and ties it all together. I mean, what more can you say to the hilarious confession about being part of the military?
Oh my gosh, I know.
And protecting him from a boar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the funniest examples of like the miscommunications, but things stay resolved throughout the whole story. It's perfect.
I love it.
So glad you're caught up. So glad there will be more episodes.
Me too.
This is one that I think could go on forever and I would be perfectly happy with it.
Yeah.
So I'm super glad that we got to do this. I think we should read comedies more often. I'd like to, at least.
We can.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're
April
amenable.
Fools.
But anyways, thank you all so much for joining us, and we are looking forward to talking to you all on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.